why not just keep the house as a second thing? Like, why Airbnb to dress it up instead of renting it to a family for like 1 year, you know, putting somebody on a contract?
So when you look at the numbers, you can actually make 16 times more money renting it as a short-term rental than as a long-term rental.
Man, how blessed we are. If you have seen my previous podcast and you watched it, I am no longer saying the word lucky. I'm saying blessed because we are so blessed. I can't believe how I've had so many wonderful female entrepreneurs on this podcast. I'm so blessed, and it's so cool because I have a wonderful woman that's sitting next to me. Not only does she have God inside of her heart, actually before we got on camera, we prayed. She is a busy mom. She has 2 kids. She's running and operating a business. And I'm like walking around, I'm like, where's Haley? Where's Haley? And I'm like, I just know, like, I can hear her voice. Like, she's got passion inside of her heart. I'm like, where is she? I can feel her, like, already in my spirit.
You're the best.
But I'm always, I explain this every single time that I have a podcast. I'm just trying to find people from different cultural backgrounds, different experiences, locations around the world. I don't think I've had anybody international yet, but I haven't spoken to anybody that does exactly what you do, owning and operating an Airbnb, and your location is so cute. And I'm just like, man, we need more mom entrepreneurs out there. Is there a title for that? Mompreneur?
Yeah. I don't know.
Is there a thing?
If there is, I don't know how to say it.
We just coined it, mompreneur. I don't know, but that's what we should title this podcast. But I have Miss Haley here, Miss Brosa, and what you guys don't see is in the background, her husband is actually sitting with us too. He just raised his coffee. You can say hi.
Howdy.
Collects it in the audio. We talked about bringing our family along with us, so I'm glad that she was able to bring her husband. But she has such a pure heart, a soul. I've been following her content for a couple of months now, and what she represents is something that we talk about here in the Elliott Group about how you can have it all: business, family, life, health, everything. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Wow, that was great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
I have so many questions for you. It's not even funny.
Oh my gosh.
But before we get into the questions, because you just hold yourself so well, I love how like grounded that you are with your presence. Actually, before we started, we were talking about energy, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I love having more energy. I'm like, okay, the world needs more of you.
I know, and of you.
Yeah, I feel like it's a syringe. Like, if I could pump a syringe instead of blood or like chemicals, if I could just like stick it of energy and then mail it to somebody and they could just pump it in their system. Anyways, now I'm being silly. We need to get back to this. But this is a question that I ask every single guest that we have on the podcast. So it's a question I want to ask you. Why should people listen to this podcast, and why should people listen to your story?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I'm looking around and I am just like, wait, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm on your podcast. I can't believe you like found me, any of those things. It's completely surreal, even to just have an Airbnb in the top 1%, because it was really not long ago at all that I was on the other side of YouTube and videos, just watching and trying to learn everything I possibly could. So like, instead of watching shows at night, my husband and I would be on our computers and we would just watch videos, and we would just want to learn everything there is to learn about short-term rentals. And in doing that, we learned there's so much we didn't know. So we just started.
That's cool. What made you decide to get into entrepreneurship? What were you doing before? You've had it for 2 years, 4 years now.
So
your house.
We've had the Airbnb running for 8 months, and then we bought it about 4 months before then.
Okay.
So really, how it all started was, my dream has always been to be a stay-at-home mom and just be really hands-on with my kids. And luckily, Blake, he allows me to do that. He works so hard, and it's the best job in the whole world. And I think any mom can probably relate that when you do that, you almost lose a little bit of yourself. So as time went on, I would just kind of think like, I felt like I was like getting dumber. Just like my brain was kind of turning to mush. It wasn't being stimulated at all. Like I wasn't having adult interaction. And to that note, I don't speak to a lot of adults, so just bear with me. I get really tongue twisted. And so I talked to Blake, and I'm like, as a creative person, I'm like, I just feel like I'm I love my life. I'm so blessed, but like I feel like I'm just missing something that's like for me that's a creative outlet that's not going to take away from time with my kids. Maybe some type of nap time hustle that I can talk to adults or like stimulate my brain. And so he's like, well, you know, we always have been wanting to invest in real estate and we love to host our friends and family. So we kind of just like took those two things together, and Airbnb was just the obvious next step. So right away, we just started looking at houses, and we spent the next, mind you, I'm 7 months pregnant with my second baby.
With your daughter.
Yeah, and so we spent the next 2 months looking at houses, and it's kind of a funny story. We probably saw 25, and the very first house we started at, really cute neighborhood, perfect dot on the map, on Holly Street.
Oh,
and
yes.
But the house was a disaster, and I mean, we walked in and walked out and we're like, no way, no. I mean, it was terrible. And so we went on to go see the other 24 houses and ended up circling back to that original house. We're like, wait, this actually isn't so bad. Like, maybe we could do this and this and this. And a totally new lens. We ended up putting in an offer that day.
Wow.
Yeah. And then fast forward 2 months, I guess 2 weeks from then, we're in the hospital giving birth to our baby girl, and Blake gets a call, or Blake is downstairs grabbing coffee. He gets a call from his realtor. And meanwhile, I'm upstairs. The nurse is checking me, and she's like, wait, your baby's coming out. Like, you need to get your husband up here.
Oh, my gosh.
Away. And so he runs in the door, and he's like, the seller's accepted our offer, like, as I'm pushing out my baby. So we literally, it's crazy.
Wow.
We were proud new owners of a beautiful baby girl in the ugly house on Holly Street. And
that is so cute.
We got to work.
Oh my gosh, what a story. Why not just keep the house as a second thing? Like, why Airbnb to dress it up and spruce it up and, you know, make it all nice?
So rather than like doing a long-term rental, are you asking?
Yeah, or just kind of like instead of renting it to a family for like 1 year, you know, and putting somebody on a contract.
So when you look at the numbers, you can actually make 16 times more money renting it as a short-term rental than as a long-term rental. And
did you learn that from YouTube?
Yes. Yes.
So, no shame. I love YouTube. That's where this is going.
It's great. And we actually invested in our education. So we took an online course that was amazing. Shout out Michael Elefante. And we learned so much from it. And one of the biggest things was, I mean, there's like tax strategy, legal strategy, pricing strategy. There's programs that help you find specific markets to make the most amount of money. There's programs that can help automate the process. So for me, I would love to like give the viewers just something, if anyone out there is wanting to start their own short-term rental, just some type of education on like, these are all the steps that we did, and this is how we were able to be in the top 1%, and maybe if you follow similar things, you too can do that, because it is kind of a foolproof method as long as you're taking all the right steps.
Yeah. So do you have like a cleaning company that goes out and like helps rearrange things and, you know, keeps tidy up and neat? That way you don't have to be there 24/7. Because I'm sure you got people checking in and out all the time, right?
We do, and we're lucky. We almost always have back-to-back check-ins. So our cleaning team is great. I'm also the type of person who just loves to be there, so I'm there between every check-in, just making sure everything is perfect. My son, he bakes homemade cookies for our guests every week, so we'll go over and we'll put those out with a handwritten card. And for us, guest experience is the most important, so we really packed our house with everything we could think of. So we have, you know, the high-end design, but we'll have the resort-style backyard, the Scottsdale mural, the pink glass fire pit, indoor-outdoor dining, indoor-outdoor bars, the beauty bar, the selfie stations, the hanging chairs, the neon signs. I mean, I could go on and on. And my personal favorite part is we have a circle pool with pink tile, and it's actually the only thing from the original house that we kept.
Wow. Why do you care about client experience?
I just, for me,
experience.
we travel a lot, and there's been so many times we travel and we stay in Airbnbs where I'm like, this would be great, but like they could have done this and then it would have been amazing. Or like, it's kind of dirty. Like I don't want to sleep in that bed, or like, looks like they haven't looked at that in a while, or like anything that would maybe kind of take it up a few notches. We just kind of started to see the things that we liked from our stays and didn't like in our stays. And so beyond just the actual house, we also provide our guests with the whole experience, as far as we include or we give them the option to have concierge services, bartenders, private chefs.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Like you hire somebody, Cabana Boys.
Yeah, Cabana Boys. Those are popular. Pre-arrival decor
What is
is
that?
a big one.
Wait. What does that mean? Josiah, we're titling this Cabana Boys for
Boys.
Airbnbs, as we have two ladies on this. What does that mean? Do you hire like Magic Mike, like those kind of guys, and they come
they're not
around?
strippers, but
they keep their clothes on.
You know, dressed all cute, and they'll serve your drinks to you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they'll serve you.
See,
your
I'm just saying, you can make a business out of everything that's anything. That is crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. That is so funny. Yeah. I would want that. Well, because I noticed that you do a lot of the Bachelorette stuff.
Yeah.
And like that is so cute.
It's
fun.
So
then you have these Rolodex of connections. Does somebody ask you? Because how would they know of those services? Do you ask them in a survey?
So as soon as they book with us, we send them a whole guidebook, and it will have all of our recommendations for places to stay, all of the vendors we love. And another thing is, a lot of our guests will refer to our Instagram, where we showcase all of our great vendors, all of our great guests and brides, and all the different ways that Holly House has been styled and used. Because we'll have a lot of brand campaigns, photo shoots, bestie trips, family vacations, bachelorette
you don't want those there for the kids.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So let's just say like the Cabana Boys or whatever, like bartenders, whatever services extra. Do they fill something out and then you hire that company and then you just upcharge them? Is that kind of like how it works?
We'll just send them directly to the business, so we don't make any money on it.
Oh, it's just recommendation.
Yeah. Oh. So we just love to support local and work together, and then we'll all collaborate. So any local businesses, we're always so excited to help promote them and refer to them.
Got it. Okay. Just
be a team.
Aware of businesses, other businesses. Wow, that's really cool. And you do like catering companies too, or like people that do. Man, that's really cool. I'm taking over the hospitality sector inside of the Elliott Group.
That's awesome.
And so I've taken a lot of programs. I've self-invested to get more client experience. I've done a lot of work on that for the company. And I'm always seeking and looking for new things, but that's really creative because our goal in business is to exceed the client's expectation.
Right.
It's kind of like Josiah right now. Well, for a lot of the viewers, I always talk about Josiah because he's behind the screen. You've met Josiah for the first time. But like Josiah has been taking notes on this already for the past like 13 minutes since we've been on. Oh, wow. So most people would think that he would come in and just hit the record button and sit there. But he's around a high-level entrepreneur. Why wouldn't he be taking notes? So he's exceeding his own expectation, right?
Oh, wow.
So we're constantly looking for new ways and things of like to enhance that experience. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody like that has done that. One Airbnb that I was really impressed with, a facility, if you will, location. Have you ever been to Washington State? Have you ever toured up there?
I was like in 7th grade.
Okay, so there's a location, it's called Leavenworth, and it's like an hour away from Seattle. And shout out to them. I don't even know what their name is, but I know I can see them on my recent feed. It's a couple, it's a husband and wife that bought out a lot of land and property. Leavenworth is like a German-based town, so the buildings look like German-based. It's really like older. And like the snow comes down for Christmas time, so they have reindeers come out. It's a whole theme thing, or like Oktoberfest. But anyways, this couple bought this huge, big property, and they have tiny cabins throughout the whole thing. And then they have like the river is running through it, so it gives you a real cabin experience, and then outdoor fire pit. And it's a 2-story. So you can look up at the stars. It's upstairs and downstairs, but they have all the modern amenities. You can have the Wi-Fi on, you can have the Wi-Fi off. You know, if you're really trying to disconnect from the rest of the world, you can put your phone away in a box kind of thing. Awesome. But it was really neat. So, but the husband and wife live on property. So when everybody checks out, the wife gets to raise her kids on the farm that's right there, and she goes and cleans out all the cabins and puts brand new fresh sheets, and they have like 4 cabins on their property.
I love that.
And I was like, wow, this is pretty neat. And they had all the modern amenities inside of it. And so that's why I'm wondering, you put yourself in other people's shoes very well.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, we'll even sit and think about what are all the things that our guests might need beyond, of course, the basics. So we'll include life-size games. We have like the giant Connect 4, giant cornhole, Jenga, and then we have every drinking and bachelorette game you can think of. We have a workstation. We've made it very family friendly, so we have like pack and plays, high chair. We put alarms that you can turn on all the doors and windows leading to the pool. We have all like the aesthetic workout equipment, yoga mats, sunscreen, pool towels. I mean, we wanted, when you go to Holly House, you'll have everything you need. You just bring your dresses, whatever.
Yeah, man, that experience, the world needs more of that. So, okay, so it sounds like life for you right now is really good and like great, and business is doing good. What is something that you fear? Because you're telling me all these great things, and I know like I've got fears too as well, and I'm not talking about like spiders or snakes, you know, like we're all scared of those things. But like, you know, I have like internal fears in life too. We're all humans, we all make mistakes. Like, what is a fear that you struggle with, or that you have, that you know of? What's a fear for you?
And I don't know if I'm answering this in the right way, because my fear has nothing to do really with Holly House. It's just like in my personal life, the thing that is like overwhelmingly a fear is probably if something were to happen to my kids or my husband or my family. So that keeps me up at night. But as far as like business goes, the fear that I would have would probably be something happening to a guest that's out of our control, or like, you know, if somebody got hurt or something. So we've taken a lot of extra steps that I don't think most hosts would do, just to make it have as much safety equipment available to our guests as possible. We've made the house super safe, you know, with like carbon monoxide detectors in every room and fire alarms and pool safety equipments. I mean,
where have you learned to have so much compassion? You have so much compassion. I don't find other people. I don't. No, I love you. See, you got it reversed. I more you than you and me. This is a competition. See, this is what happens in the LA group. Everybody always wants to be right all the time. How did you learn to be so compassionate? Let me tell you, I've interviewed a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that are just transactional. They're one way, they're just monotone, and they don't care and love the way that you love and care. How did you learn how to be so compassionate?
You know, I feel like it's just who I am to my core. And it's funny, like my husband is always like, Haley, this is supposed to be passive income, because I spend so much time there, like between Holly House and then the marketing, the Instagram pages and all that. Yeah. But it's truly like, I love it so much. It's just so fun for me. I love just when the guests get there and they'll message me like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like, this is better than the pictures, or it's just so fun. And like, I love to host like our friends and family, so it's kind of an extension of that.
Yeah. How do you find your creativity, like finding new things? Like, obviously there was a point in time where you didn't think of the Cabana Boys.
Right,
you know?
right.
There was a time that you didn't think of maybe the Connect 4, or there was a time that you didn't think of, you know, putting towels and sunscreens there. Like, you just thought plain Jane. Right. So like, how did you get those gears to be so creative?
I've always been, and I started out in the wedding industry, and then I transitioned into, I did calligraphy for weddings, and then transitioned into doing calligraphy workshops. So I was always setting, and I wanted everything had like the flowers and the table runners and the like beautiful everything. So I'm just very into the aesthetics of everything. So you'll find in Holly House, every little corner of the house has been thought of. I mean, every time I go there, I open up every cupboard and make sure everything is perfect with their little labels, and just like everything has a home, everything is nice. I mean, even our like kitchen utensils will probably be the prettiest ones you've ever seen because I just like took such care into every little thing in that house.
Are you a Disney fan? Do you like Disney?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah?
in my Lion King era right now with my kids.
Gosh. I feel like at the Holly house, like you would have hidden Mickeys. But hidden Hollies, you know?
Yeah.
Like your little signature thing, like sprinkled. Do you? Or like, I don't know, like that. Now I'm thinking of something like, you know, their welcome card or when they walk in, you're going to be like, oh, just FYI, fun fact, you'll find 10 little Holly hidden features throughout the house. And you know, I don't know,
but write that down. That's a good one.
Yeah, see, that's why I love doing this, is because I love coming up with business ideas.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's maybe fun for the kids. Or like, I don't know, like, you know, you have one printed like way down below over here, like the ceiling. Or maybe you put a sticker like on the pool, you know, on one of the tiles or something. Like, oh, there's another one, like a logo or something.
I love it.
You
Probably
know?
everyone knows this for the bow.
Yeah, so you could take like a mini version of it and like hide it. I don't know.
I like it.
Now this is why I love doing stuff like this, because you get to come with creative things. And Disney is very well known. They do that in their rides and stuff. Have your kids been yet?
No, they're still too young. I feel like my son, he's 3. I don't think he would do well in those lines. Just waiting.
Wait for them to get a little bit older.
Yeah,
to have the
probably
patience
go
for
like
it.
maybe 5. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to take him at 4. I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
How patient
That's going to be so fun for you guys.
Yeah.
Are you guys planning on having more kids?
You know, that's the question of the hour. We change our mind every day.
That's cool. What did you always know that you wanted to be a mom?
Yes. So that's the one thing where I feel like I'm the type of person who is like born to be a mom. I just love it so much. And like that, I do get to fill my creativity. I get to be like that Pinterest mom and pack the dinosaur lunches and do all that fun stuff. But yeah, my kids, they're so great. They're so fun. And they get to do Holly House with us. So
yeah, they get to watch you grow. That's the thing that you're missing, is you're like, oh, I'm stale, I'm stagnant, like I want to grow, like I need my next thing to look for. Are you planning on expanding and creating more?
Yes. So it's funny, the biggest problem that we have right now is we have so many guests say like, hey, I really love your house, I want to stay there, but I can't get a date. You're so booked up. And like, do you have any other properties? So spoiler alert, we actually are working on our next property right now.
Wow.
And it's going to be ready in a couple months. It's actually going to be, I don't want to say the name yet, but I'll call it Holly House 2.0. It's going to have all the things you love about Holly House, but we've kicked it up a few notches.
Wow.
And we've added some amenities that I haven't seen anywhere in Arizona. If
That's
someone
cool.
has it, I haven't seen it at least, but
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you guys have Costco?
love
Do you guys go to Costco?
Oh, yeah.
Freaking love Costco.
Love Costco.
Shout out Costco.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I always end up talking about Costco on my
no.
freaking podcast, but I love them. Do you guys buy a lot of your stuff from there? Like any of your bulk stuff, or like sheets or waters? I don't know if you have like a little mini fridge that's stocked up with waters. Do you guys use Costco at all for your business?
Well, I use Costco in my everyday life. Love it. But for actually Holly House, the partnership we have with our cleaners is all of our linens and duvets and towels are professionally laundered off-site, and they actually own them. So every time you stay at our house, you have like, you know, when you stay at a hotel, you have like that perfect crisp. Because
somebody ironed it.
I hate when like I'm at an Airbnb and like I'm like, I know they didn't wash this comforter.
Oh, no,
so like
I know.
our comforters are washed every single time. Our duvets are washed every single time. Our towels are always like that fluffy, luxurious hotel towel.
Oh my gosh.
So we actually don't own any of our stuff. We launder it professionally through that company. So
I remember one time I went into an Airbnb.
yeah.
You know what? I don't even care. I'm going to share it.
Share it. We have to hear
I
it.
hope that this man is listening to this, or this woman. I went to an Airbnb one time, and it was like kind of like a mansion house. Not a mansion house, but it was like a house that had like 8 rooms in it, and like
Wow.
a kitchen and a living room. It was huge.
Yeah,
And
huge.
I was like, I don't care, because I'm just kind of looking for the rate. But I was, we were going to a convention in Vegas, and so the house was like right next to it. So I'm like, I just want to take convenience. And so I was staying in one of the rooms, and it was connected to a bathroom. And whenever I go to Airbnb, I prefer to have the bathroom connected, just because I don't
Yeah.
want to talk or see anybody, and I just want to have the comfort of my own space.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, this place is really nice. It's great location. And I remember getting in the bed. It definitely was a smoker. Like somebody either smoked in the bed, but you can tell it wasn't just the sheets. Like it's in the mattress, you know? Like I'm not a smoker. Are you a smoker?
No,
it don't look like smoker. No. But so like when you don't smoke, you just know.
It's gross.
And I'm like, it's not just the sheets, it's the whole comforter and everything. Like it's in the mattress.
Yeah, and we actually have a 0 tolerance smoking policy. We've had guests like, can I even smoke outside? But we just have no smoking.
Yeah, go get a Zyn thingy. Or
a what?
Zyn.
Oh.
It's those pouches.
Oh, like
the nicotine pouches.
Kind of thing?
Those are the electronic cigarette ones,
okay.
but the Zyn ones are the pouches that you can stick in that's like dip, but it's not dip because it's in a pouch.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even into it.
Yeah.
That's all I know. We don't need to. We have great teeth. We don't need that stuff. That's so great. So, and one thing that I notice about you is you're so grateful.
Yes.
Like you have so much gratitude.
Yes.
Like you said when I met you downstairs, she's like, I'm so glad to be here, that you even ran up to the stairs to me. And I'm like, no, I'll come down to you. And then you've said it like 4 times. I've already counted sitting in here.
Oh my gosh.
How have you learned to be so grateful? Does that come from like your parents? I don't know if your parents taught you to always be grateful. Yeah. I don't know if your parents are together. Are they separate still
They're
together?
They're separated.
Like, I don't know if you've learned that from your past life before marriage and kids.
I think I just like, gosh, yeah, I grew up with a single mom. She's my best friend in the world. I love her more than anything. She's always been like my cheerleader. I mean, no matter what I did, she's like, you're the best calligrapher. You're the best this. Like, you can do anything you set your mind to. And so I've always like almost been delusional in that. But I feel like, I mean, I'm just like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe that, like, you would want me here and all these things, because it wasn't that long ago that I was on the other side. And I think growing up with a single mom, I always knew that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom so that I could be home with my kids, because my mom was always working. And so to be able to be home with my kids but also be working and showing them that I can do hard things, and I can be a rock star like Dad and go work and be,
that's cool,
kind of juggle all the things. So
how did you and your husband meet?
We met at a dive bar.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we met at a dive bar, and he came up to me. We were both a little bit toasted. And
you were that crunchy toasted.
Yeah.
It was burnt.
Yeah.
She put it on like option 8 instead of 3.
Yeah.
Well, I got a Hello Kitty toaster, so I can't put it past 2. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I don't really remember actually a lot of the conversation, but he was telling me that he was meeting a client at Chick-fil-A tomorrow, which I didn't remember the client part. He was talking about Chick-fil-A. So all I remembered from the story was, I told my friends in the Uber on the way home, I met this great guy. Like, I think he works at Chick-fil-A, but like I really like him. We're gonna go on another date. And then
he's the sales manager. He's the head manager, the floor manager.
Exactly. But he actually is the real rock star behind Holly House, because we completely gutted the whole thing inside and out. And he does construction management for Fortune 500 companies. So we were able to do the whole project without a GC.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right, because he's got resources. He's like, no, it's all her.
Yeah. No,
cool.
He's...
Both of you guys.
Yeah. It was crazy, though, because he would be at Holly House before and after work every day. I would be at home with the newborn and the toddler, trying to totally design this house between like nursing times and nap times. And then I'd open the door to 100 packages that I'd have to like open and build. And then every night, on top of no sleep with a newborn, we would be on the floor building furniture. So it was a grind for a few months. And with all those postpartum hormones, I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, why did we do this? But we're like, we can do it. We just got to push through. And we did. We did the remodel in 2 months. And then it took us 2 months to build the furniture and get it all set up. And the crazy thing, we went live, and in 10 days, we were booked solid for 6 months.
Wow. That is awesome. You guys need to create like 10 more.
And now we're like shocked that we're in the top 1%. It's just
Did you experience postpartum depression at all? Did you experience any of that?
maybe postpartum anxiety, but I think maybe just because it was like a lot happening at once, and I also really wanted to be present with my kids while like giving the house the attention that it needed. So I think I was just like struggling with like, okay, when baby's awake, I just need to be with baby
Be where your
and
feet
my
are
son.
at. Yeah.
And then, okay, baby's nursing, so I can like, I'd be nursing and on my computer,
I see.
Like shopping for tile
Yeah.
and whatever. And then baby would be down. My son was in preschool part-time, so that I got to like focus a lot during her nap times. And then she'd go down to bed. Anytime she was sleeping was just like, it was like, okay, hustle, we can do it. Okay, she's up. All right.
So while you guys were building all this, is this because you made a comment downstairs where you said that Blake would send you videos of Andy? So while you guys were building it, is that when you would get the videos of Andy? Like,
it's funny that you
get
asked
up, you can
that,
do this.
because I asked him, I was like, because we were just talking about you and Andy, and Blake's been a fan for a long time, and I hadn't heard of him till Blake started sending me all these videos. And I asked him, I'm like, was it during Holly House when you were sending me like all of Andy's videos?
Oh, you were connecting the dots backwards.
Yeah, I was like, is this a sign? Like, this is crazy. Just like, I'm like again, like, I can't believe I'm here right now. It's just insane. But we couldn't exactly pinpoint when it is, but I mean, Andy's videos have always been just like, they're so inspiring.
Yeah, I was going to say him and Jacqueline. It's funny, actually, Jacqueline built this entire company. A lot of people think it's Andy, but Andy is just more the front-facing guy with the microphone.
Yeah.
But like Jacqueline is actually the one that built everything.
That's amazing.
And what do you like the most out of them, or what attracts you to them, and
so
what we have?
Honestly, they're so different than me that like I love that about them, in the way that I'm very much like, okay, give me criticism, but in a love sandwich. Like, if you need to criticize me through song. Like, so I love that he's like, no, like, I'm going to give you tough love. This is what you need to hear, and this is why. Just because, like I said, I grew up with my mom, who's always like, you're amazing, you can do anything, which I love, and I'm exactly like her as a parent now, but I love also the contrast of having someone be like, no, like, this is the tough love. And Blake is good at delivering tough love. I'm not as good. So I think maybe that's why he sends me Andy's videos. He's like, have Andy tell you.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's good to hear it from somebody else, because you're too close.
Right.
And he loves you. And so it's tough to tell somebody, get your shit together without. So it's like the neighbor effect.
Right.
Like, you tell your kids, hey guys, this is a busy road. Don't cross the street.
Right.
They cross the street. And then I come over and I'm like, guys, that road's busy. Don't cross it, okay? I say the same thing that you say, and they listen to me and they don't cross it. And you're like, what the heck? I birthed you. You came out of me and you crossed. But it's the neighbor effect of like needing to hear it from somebody else, of like inviting.
Yes.
Then because he loves you.
He's the best.
And it's hard sometimes to hear it from the person that you're with. I told that to my boyfriend the other day. I was like, I feel like you're not hard with me sometimes. I feel like you're too soft with me, and it sucked telling him that, because he's like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I love you. He's my comfort zone. He wants me to stay comfortable, and he sometimes it's almost too dangerous that he's like, whenever I say, can we go do this? He goes, we'll do whatever you want. Which is great. I love it when he tells me yes all the time, but there's sometimes where I'm like, I need you to kind of give me a kick in the ass a little bit. Like, I need you to put your foot down on certain things. And I think we're trying to figure that out, of like what's enough and what's too little. And I can't wait for him to watch this later, because this is good for him to hear it, because I'm on camera and I'm on spot, so now I have to be vulnerable and say it. But I just, like the other day, so my boyfriend and I, we're triathletes, so we do bike, run, swim, and we compete in races.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And the other day, this was yesterday, yesterday was our run day. Today was our bike day, so we already biked this morning. But our coach designs it to where we can do the exercises together. So like, he had a 2-hour bike ride, I only had 1 hour, but we did our first hour together. And then the second one, I don't need to do another hour, because he's more seasoned than me. Then he goes out and does it. Well, yesterday we were supposed to do a run, and you know, I was just really tired. We just did a race in Florida, so my body is still exhausted. Like my muscles are still extremely sore. I'm in a lot of pain, but we still need to get it done. And I'm like, I need to get some sleep. And, you know, so we slept in and I told him, you know, don't let me do this. Like, we need to get up. And if that means we need to get up earlier and stretch to make sure we warm the body, but if you let me sleep in today, you may let me sleep in tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, and I don't want that. So I'm like, when the alarm goes off, like, I need your help. Like, I need you to be stern with me. And that's hard for him because he wants to nurture me and be like, get your rest. You know, it's different here. It's easy to say this here because we're on camera. But when you go home and you're in the comfort of your own bed and things are good and the kids are asleep and they're not up yet, like, you want to sleep in. But I just told him, I'm like, hey, so in the shower last night, I was like, tomorrow when the alarm goes off, like, if that means we need to set the alarm 30 minutes early, I need you to get my ass up. Like, we need to go, you know? So, like, this morning I was testing him.
Did he get you up?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, good.
And I was like, he goes, okay, I got your sports bra, I got your socks out, like, okay, come on, I got your shorts, like, your shoes are ready for you. And he's like, I'm gonna go brush my teeth right now. I'm gonna let you stay here for 2 minutes, but when I come back, you gotta get up. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, he's on. Like, he's got it, you know?
That's amazing.
So I know what you mean about still needing, like, the push.
Yeah.
But the love, you know, it's hard. Yeah. Like, I feel, as for guys, I feel too, because, like, it's your job to.
I know. And I get so excited about, like, the creativity, the, like, way everything looks, how Collie House is cute, and, you know, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, I still have to do, like, the accounting and the QuickBooks and the taxes and, like, things nobody wants to do, but I like to do them in the order of the way that I like.
Yeah.
To do them.
Yeah.
So I'm getting better, though.
Good. So for this next chapter, this next home, are you guys going to need to expand on a team and having more, like, it sounds like you're going to soon need, like, an assistant or somebody else to run things with you as you guys grow? What does that look like?
You know, we'll probably just take it day by day and just see where life takes us and, like, how it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know the answer to that right now.
Good.
Yeah.
As long as you're searching for it. I think that's the key. Or asking yourself questions. Like, hey, do I need more help? Or, hey, what would make this more colorful? Or, hey, what is, you know, like, you're looking for, like, your theme and all that. I want to know what's on your bracelets.
My kids' names.
That's cute.
Yes.
That is so cute. Did you make those?
My best friend got them for me, and I wear them every day. I love them so much.
That's cute. Do you have any tattoos on your body?
I don't.
Are you going to keep it that way?
I am.
May? Yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody's to each is its own, but I always like knowing the inner things of people and what drives them. Is that necklace that you have, is that from your husband?
My husband got me this. My dad got me this.
Sweet. Is your dad back in Colorado, where you're from?
My dad's in California, but he also has a place in Colorado, so he'll toggle between the two.
The reason why I'm asking about all these things is because I love how intentional that you are.
Yes.
Like, I could ask you about this, and you're like, yep, this is from here, and this is from dad.
From my mom, so I have a little piece of everybody.
See?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're a guy listening to this, this is like, we should create this whole thing into, like, a dating thing of, like, getting better, of, like, see, men need to know these things like this, like one from mom and kids and this and that.
Yes.
Man, that's really cool.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
So, okay, so now you guys are starting to grow. You have the kids. Are you guys going to homeschool your kids? Because I know you want to be really, really close with them. Or are you going to put them in a traditional school?
So our son right now is in a Montessori preschool.
Oh, very good.
He loves it. It's so good for him, and it's so good for me because I can, like, be really intentional with him with the time that he's home, and then when he's at school I can still have, when my daughter's napping, that, like, nap time hustle to just, like, focus on either Holly House, but a lot of the times it's, like, my house where I'm like, I have all the laundry and the cleaning, and I just like our house to be kept a certain way, so I spend a lot of time just, like, making that house feel like a home for them. So I'll kind of, like, crank out as much as I can while baby girl's sleeping.
What is it that you want to be known for in business? Like, when somebody sees your brand, they know what you represent, what your face represents, what you know, have you ever seen Mr. Beast?
I haven't, no.
Joe Rogan.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
You know when you see Joe Rogan or you see his face, you know, like, what he represents, like the UFC kind of thing, the Fear Factor thing, now he's into the podcast thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know his style of, like, branding. And so, like, when people look at your logo, your brand, your face, what is it that you want to be known for?
I think all my guests, what they would say about their experience is that, like, or I guess what I would want to be known for is just the house that's always very, like, out of a movie, like a Nancy Meyers movie, like an experience, like, sometimes I'll set out like flowers. I almost always set out like baked goods. Like, I just want it to feel very like magical and unlike anywhere they've ever stayed before.
Did you not have that growing up?
I didn't have that growing up. Only because my mom, like I said, she worked so hard. She's like the hardest worker I've ever known. She had multiple jobs, and so I feel like I always just wanted to like give my kids this like fairy tale life, which sounds so silly, but I feel like I'm like living in my own like fantasy land sometimes with just like though I just want my kids to have like the best childhood.
That's cool. Have you ever experienced bullying at all?
Honestly, I haven't.
No? That's been a big part of it, too?
Maybe like a little bit of like the mean girl thing. But
yeah,
not
left
like,
out.
Not like a bully or like being beat. So
I've been left out of a lot of things in my life. Like other kids, like if there was a sleepover, like I would never get the invitation. Or if I did get the invitation, I found out that a couple girls left out and there wasn't enough room, so then they invited me instead. Or like I just was never first pick. And I'm like, fuck, this is crappy. I'm like, why don't I ever get invited to these things? I was never like chosen to do the cool stuff. Or like, I always wanted to be best friends with certain girls, but they had a different agenda. And I'm like, man, I give you more love. I remember in like the 7th grade, so funny, I used to write Halloween cards, like seasonal cards to people. When I was in 7th grade, I used to write letters.
That's so cute.
And like pack it in an envelope. Like normally you do that in 2nd grade, Valentine's cards, right?
Right.
But I was in the 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade. I remember passing out and writing my own happy Halloween card and passing it out to everybody. And nobody said anything about it. They're just like, well, whatever. Or they threw it away. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I was just like, I never understood why people didn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I got that from. But growing as an adult now, I'm just like, man, I don't ever want anybody to feel the way that I felt, like disappointed or let down. And that's where the exceeding the expectation comes into play, right?
Yeah.
And so now I'm just like, now that like mine and my boyfriend's businesses have grown so much, I mean, we have a dream life and we have more money than we know what to do with. We just want to help other people accomplish that. And I'm like, I don't want to keep any of the stuff that we have. Like, I don't want to keep anything. Like, I just want to give. Like, that's how you are. I just want to give to people. I don't want to take anything. We just gave away one of our cars because I'm like, why do we need 2 cars?
Yeah.
Like, it's just me and you, and we work right here. We literally live 2 blocks away from the Lions Den. We bought a house so that way we could just walk to work if we needed to. But there's a guy that's on our team that his wife drives him to work, and the one van that they have, it breaks down all the time. It's got 300,000 miles, and it's not a safe vehicle. So we're like, we'll just give it to him. Like, so many people are just attached to their things. And I'm like, I don't want to be attached. Like, our house, we have an alarm security system on it, but like our house, it stays open all the time. Like, our garage is open, our front door is open. Like,
that's so nice.
Eva's got a second key to our house. Everybody knows like how to get into the house, the sliding glass door. We always constantly having people coming in and out because I don't fear anybody taking anything from me. I'm like, what are you gonna take? We don't have any possessions in there, so I'm like, what are you gonna take? My couch?
Right.
I'll just go down to the freaking furniture store and just buy another couch.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't need things. And I think that people are, today, they're so attached to things.
Right.
Like, monetary and, like, I'm like, I just don't want things anymore. I want to help other people change their lives, and I want to help give other people experiences like what you're doing.
Yeah.
I want people to feel a part of something.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. God's just been talking to me the past year, and it's like, just, I think I've been longing for that my whole life, being a part of something. And now as an adult, I finally have the opportunity to do it in business, and now I'm like, come be a part of our thing, you know, like, you're part of our family. Like, you and your husband and your kids are part of our family. Like, we've got workouts every single month. We have barbecues at my house every single month. And all of like our clients that we train and work with, and all of our business entrepreneurs that we work with, everybody comes over to my house once a month, and we just barbecue and get together, network, share creative ideas. Like, now I'm learning a bunch of stuff from you, and now we're learning, like,
I love
you can learn different things from me, and nuggets that you can bring inside of your business. And And so I just, I think a lot of that comes from the pain, you know, and somewhere along the lines you've experienced pain to know well enough that you want to be better.
Yeah.
You know, give other people that. And that's cool.
Yeah.
That is really neat because I've talked to people. I was on the phone the other day with this kid who is 18, 19 years old, and he goes, I wish I came from a background of family where my parents weren't around, or drugs were involved, or, you know, criminal background was involved. But my parents have been so picture perfect that my life is so set and so comfortable that I don't know how to grind and have more. Like he's never experienced struggle.
Yeah.
He's like, I've never watched my parents go through anything. Like everything's made for me. And he goes, I don't even have to work another day. I literally don't have to go get a job right now because I have a trust fund that my parents will just take care of me for the rest of my life. And I'm like, he's like, I'm stuck. He goes, I'm literally stuck. And that's why I love hearing your story, because you watched your mom struggle through those things that you're like, I don't want my kids to have that.
Yeah.
And then
she
it's
was
cool.
the best mom ever, but
yes, I know what you mean. Like my mom was too. My mom was like loving and
yes. Yeah.
told me she loved me, but that's what I love how you said that's the key is
Yeah.
I'm bringing my kids in my business with me.
Right.
They get to come into the house and show what we're doing, what we're building.
Right. He'll set out his cookies that he worked hard to make, and
some kids that will just stay at home. You get a nanny and put an iPad in front of them.
Right.
I'm like, that's not getting creative.
No.
You're not helping their, what did you say about the brain? Like stimulating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing we actually just learned, and don't ask me the specifics because I don't know, but you can really involve your kids and then give them a paycheck to help them like have a retirement one day, but like obviously have them work for it, but like start learning the value.
There's an app, I have it on my phone, I forget the name of it, but you can actually get your kids like a debit card and you can load the money on the account, but it's a task oriented thing. So it's like you assign it to the kids, for an example, like, hey, watch a motivational video for 30 minutes today. And and it'll tell you once they complete it, then you can reward them with, $50 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they have virtual stuff like that. And
That's
I'm like,
so
that's
cool.
kind of cool. And they get to go to the store and you teach them about money because they have the debit card, the banking account, so they can swipe the card to see what they can and can't purchase, or math. Okay, this toy is $5 and then this toy is $10. Okay, on your debit card, on your app, you're teaching them about business.
Yeah.
This is going to add up to $30 and you got $50. So you got $20 left if you want to save it or use it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, that's great technology too as well.
No, totally.
I love that. If you could spend, I love asking this question because everybody is so different with their perspectives. If you and Blake could spend the whole week with the Elliott group, and you guys could hang out with us, and you guys got to live with Jacqueline and Andy for a whole week. You got to wake up with them and go do a cold plunge with them and just observe them all week. What would you guys want to learn? Like being like a fly on the wall. What would you guys want to learn from us?
Oh, I would love to just pick their brain and like what got them started. I know Andy had he hit rock bottom, and that's what kind of brought him to where he is today, but I would just love to hear more of the specifics and just kind of understand their journey.
That's powerful. Okay, and this is the last question that I'll ask, and I ask everybody this too as well. So we titled our YouTube sector, we said shattering your limiting beliefs. So when we're on camera right now, but when we go back and edit this and when you watch it live, we'll start talking, and then the first intro, the first minute, it says shattering your limiting beliefs. So I always like the guests to talk about a limiting belief that you've shattered through. So for an example, mine is I was in sales starting at 18 years old. I sold cars for 10 years. And a limiting belief that I had is, because I'm a woman, people won't take me more seriously. I'm a woman and I'm young, people won't buy from me. Therefore, I'll never make X amount of money in this business. And I would have people come up to me and be like, they like husband and wife or a family, and they're like, oh, we want to work with somebody else, please. Meaning, I know that they're insinuating they want to work with a guy. And I'm like, that dude doesn't even care about you. Like, I'm way more detailed oriented, and I'm going to give you that experience, but they don't know that. So I had to like retrain my brain and shatter through that limiting belief of like, you can sell X amount of cars, you can make X amount of money, you can help as many families as you want to help, get their credit reestablished, right? So that was kind of like my limiting belief, that I thought that it was the age and the gender. So what's a limiting belief for you that you've broken through that you can share with everybody?
I feel like I am not the most articulate person, and I'm not very good at like speaking words in a way that like I'll think it clearly in my head, but then when it goes to actually speaking it, it's sometimes just like jumbled. So and I know when I leave here I'll be like, oh dang, I should have said like this and this, like, but so I never want to come off, I feel like I always kind of like maybe don't give myself enough credit, or like just don't think I sound good. So that's something that I'm working on, is just trying to talk more positively and like shatter whatever belief I have that I'm not a very good speaker.
Okay, are you ready? We're going to do it right now. Okay, so you're going to repeat after me. I'm strong.
I'm strong.
And I'm an overcomer.
And I'm an overcomer.
I'm strong.
I'm strong.
And I'm an overcomer. All right, now we're all going to do it together. You guys ready? I'm strong.
I'm strong.
No. That was so weak. I'm strong.
I'm strong.
And I'm an overcomer.
And I'm an overcomer.
See, doesn't that feel so good? Whenever I say overcomer, I feel like a cucumber.
I love
I
it.
picture that in my head.
That's good.
That's powerful that you can recognize that, though.
Yeah.
Because most people sit in those thoughts and they don't talk to themselves. So like when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do is I'm like talking to myself. I'm always giving myself like a pep talk. I'm like, so me and Tyler, my boyfriend Tyler, when we wake up, we always say, that's our 2 lines. He always has me say that. I'm strong and I'm an overcomer. So whenever I feel like the devil's in my head and kind of like, you can't do this, you're not smart enough, you're not this, you're not that, I'm like, no, I'm strong and I'm an overcomer. So I make sure that I audit the words that come out of my mouth, because your words are so powerful.
Right.
And when you say something, you'll speak it into existence.
Right.
You know? So like I make sure that I'm very, very careful with saying, like, I am smart, I can do anything that I put my mind to. You know, I have 2 beautiful children, and I'm going to show them exactly what a great mom looks like. I'm going to show them that when they marry a man and when they marry a woman one day, they're going to duplicate what me and my husband have, because our relationship is strong and powerful.
Right.
And then it gives you chills.
Yes.
You know? Like,
well, even just being here, I'm like, that's facing my fears, because
good.
This was like, I mean, I can't even believe that I'm here right now still, but
yeah. Well, believe it. And I want you to think of this, because I used to say that to myself. I used to say like, oh my God, I'm working for Andy Elliott. And then he'd walk past mine and be like, what's up, Celina? And be like, Andy Elliott just touched me. He just gave me a fist bump. Oh my God. And I'm like freaking out. But I'm like, no, I think to myself like, Celina, you have done everything in your life to attract amazing mentors. Look at yourself. Look at how many people you've attracted. You have an amazing husband. You have attracted him. You have attracted the powerful people that are in your life by your actions. And it's not just the actions, it's the intentions. You see, whenever I'm like running a race, and like sometimes I don't get first place, or sometimes I don't, win overall race, or maybe in my age category, I'm like, you know what, Celina? The person that really won this race was the person with the best attitude. Your intentions and your attitude, that is what's going to cross you on the finish line.
Yeah.
And when you have that breakthrough moment of more experiences in life, like, oh man, it's just over.
Yeah.
It's so over.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this is a big breakthrough for me.
Yeah.
Just even like doing this, I'm proud of myself, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
As you should be. And you have so many more levels. Like, I see you can't because you live in your own body, but like, I know exactly where you're going to be at in 6 months to 2 years. Like, I already see that version of you, and that new identity of you, and that new fierce version of you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say it like, it's hard to see it in your own self, but I know it with your consistency and the people in your environment that you surround yourself with. You have no idea where you're going to be at in the next 2 years. I do. And I know exactly what she looks like. I can picture it in my head.
Oh, thank you.
And she's cool.
Thanks.
She's badass. Anyways, we're going to wrap this up. So What is a great way, we'll put it in the description too, but what is the best way that people can contact you, can reach out to you if they need advice, if they want help, if they want to book at your Airbnb? What is the best place that people can get a hold of you at?
So we love hearing from other hosts if anyone has questions. We love working with vendors, and we love if you just want to ever check out our Instagram to see all of the things that we've done or good ideas. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Stay at Holly House. And then our Airbnb link is just airbnb.com/h/Holly House Scottsdale.
Perfect. Or maybe if they have a new set of Cabana Boys.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just saying, we need a backup for the new house.
There we go.
I'm just saying, what if they're booked 2 nights in a row? I'm just kidding. I'm really going to look into that after.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, maybe we could have like all the Elliott Group guys come out.
You
know,
should.
like, put them in a bow tie and freaking.
They would be perfect.
Some little Speedos. Okay, all right. Until next time, guys, we will see you very soon where we're going to shatter your limiting beliefs. Hey, Elliott Army, what's going on? Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching. If you like that video, you're gonna love this other content. Here's a couple of other videos that are very similar to that one. Let's get it.